Well, from personal computing to Xbox, the cloud to AI, Microsoft continues to transform the way we live. This week, the company celebrates its 50th anniversary. Tonight, President Brad Smith goes on the record reflecting on 5 decades of innovation, the challenges ahead, and the world with AI, the tech that will take us all into the future.
The most amazing thing for a tech company that hits 50 years is just the fact that it managed to do that. I think our most transformational accomplishment has been to constantly change.
Microsoft is making an $80 billion investment in AI. So how do you think that's going to impact the global landscape, particularly with EU regulations, competition with China?
What it really reflects is our belief that AI is fundamental to the future, the economic competitiveness of the United States, but really for humanity, the ability to discover new drugs, to improve healthcare, to advance science, to change the way we learn.
When you say AI, some people are so excited. I use AI in my everyday work. Some people are terrified. How does the everyday user differentiate between what is accurate with AI, which we would assume is almost everything, and what is not?
One is AI is still a relatively young technology when it comes to generative AI. It will continue to get better, but don't turn off your brain. Continue to think and ask, does this make sense? If not, then ask another question, and you're probably going to get the right answer.
And I believe Microsoft's training 2.5 million Americans in AI skills. So how will you address job displacement?
Well, I think this is going to be one of the most important topics we'll all talk about in the 5 and 10 and frankly 25 years ahead. I don't actually believe that people run as much of a risk of losing their job to AI as they might run a risk of losing their job to someone who knows how to use AI.
When it comes to environmental sustainability, what is the company doing, particularly as it relates to large-scale data centers?
We're doing this work with 3 principles in mind. Number 1, we need to invest, and we are, to bring new sources of electricity online to provide the power that we need. Number 2, we need to invest in renewable or carbon-free energy, wind, solar, nuclear. And third, we have to manage this so that if there's improvements that are needed to the grid, for example, that we pay that price.
So let's reflect on 50 years. Is there one achievement or 2 that you are most proud of as you look back over your own 31 plus years with the company?
There's a lot of years that were hard. From a broad perspective, go back a decade. You know, Microsoft was not at the absolute forefront when people were talking about phones. They were talking about Samsung and Apple. There are very few times in the history of technology when a company is able to really define some technological eras, slip, and then come back. And I think that is a testament to ingenuity, to perseverance, to resilience, and fundamentally to innovation. But the other thing that I feel so good about is the community orientation of this company. It started with Bill Gates, it started with his parents. We created not just a program, but a culture where people give to the community. 80% of our employees in Washington State donate either time or money to nonprofits in this state. That's an extraordinarily high percentage. We generate about $125 million per year to almost 5,000 nonprofits in Washington State.
What are your aspirations for Microsoft into the future?
We should want to do fundamentally 3 things. Number 1, we have to remain at the forefront of innovation. Number 2, I think we have to be a force for good. You know, that we not only want to create technology that people use, but we create technology that makes the world a better place. And I think we can do both. And third, I feel a huge sense of responsibility, as I think all of us who are leaders here today do, for our role in Washington State. We've helped build an economy that is in part very dependent on our industry. If we do those 3 things together, then hey, I'd say the next 25 years, they should be our best 25 years, and that should be our goal.